Hello. So I think everyone is in. Welcome to another Twitter space organized by MarginX. I'm Jamie, who's the host of this podcast, and I'm also a crypto influencer myself on both English and Cantonese content. So today we're going to have a great episode because we have some of the best minds in the crypto space to talk about the market. As you know, Bitcoin was it has been fluctuating at around 26K for about 2 weeks. But yesterday we have like a great news that Grayscale won the case against SEC. Of course, we have seen a massive green candles. Like I was like extremely over the moon. But the question is like, how long would this pump last though? Is it like the Ripple case that we saw, like a pump for a week and then drop back down? Today we have invited someone who works in the crypto VC, who is like a family office guy, and we also have another influencer, and he's a local Hong Kong crypto influencer, to shed some light about the market. But before we start, why don't we start with like each of the guests to give us a brief introduction about themselves? Well, perhaps we should start with Desmond first because he's like the star of the local Hong Kong crypto influencer. So, Desmond, why don't you tell our audience who you are, what do you do, why you're in crypto, etc.?
Hello guys, I'm Desmond. I'm a crypto influencer. So I started my YouTube in 2021, and I have 45K of subscribers. And now before I have started a crypto media called Crypto Research, and we have Instagram, also a Telegram community, and also Twitter. So we have an all-rounded media platform for our audience to learn more about the basics of the crypto stuff, and also we want them to have a better understanding of the whole crypto industry before they start their investment or started to build their own things in the industry. So that's what we did. And actually I started buying Bitcoin since 2014 when I was a university student. But I find that there was very few local media or a local influencer talking about like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So I started my own platform or my own YouTube channel to want to educate people more about the basics and how crypto can change their life. So that's basically what I do. Thank you.
Well, one thing you have to mention is that you're also a great singer. Perhaps we should do a crypto song together, whether it's in Cantonese or English. Well, Desmond, are you still up for it?
Yeah. Actually, I dare not saying I'm a great singer because Jamie is the great singer here. Yeah.
No, I'm doing okay, but perhaps we should do like a crypto silly song before the Bitcoin spot ETF actually get approved. Well, the next guest we have Wilson, and Wilson, I believe you are in crypto family office fund. Well, but why not we hear it straight from the horse's mouth? So, Wilson, could you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Thank you, Jamie. Hi, everyone. I am Wilson, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm the cryptocurrency team leader in a prestigious family office catering to ultra high net worth individuals, and I find myself at the forefront of an exciting and dynamic intersection between traditional wealth management and the innovative realm of cryptocurrencies. And then my role is multifaceted, requiring a deep understanding of both financial expertise and the intricacies of the ever-evolving cryptocurrency landscape. So once again, thank you for having me here. Thank you, Jamie.
It's great to have you on too. I'm sure our audience is going to learn a lot from you guys as well. Well, last but not least, we also have Ray. He's in GameFi, I believe. So, Ray, please take it away. Tell our audience what do you do, who you are, and why you're in crypto, etc.
Hi, I'm Ray. I'm now Hong Kong based, but pretty decentralized because everything opens up this year. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys globally. So I'm a serial founder, investor, investment banker, and also engineer. I'm now a founding partner of Asymmetry Capital. We focus a lot on the Web3 games, that and also and we really like the social side of Web3 gaming, and then we talk deeper into basically intricacies of gaming and also Bitcoin and other the broader market. We invested in we are the seed investor of the number one Web3 gaming project called Spinterlands and a couple of unicorn projects beyond gaming as well, like DeFi as well. So happy to talk further as well about that. And we are currently building a digital pet. We're right now, so we're pretty excited and bullish about the market next year. Thanks, Jem.
I'm sure a lot of us are very bullish for the next bull run. I mean, when I look at the pump yesterday, I was like, oh gosh, I missed the bull market. I do want to, I really appreciate you for coming, Ray, because I met Ray like a couple months ago. In some like events, because I've been going to a lot of like whether it's gallery events or business events or crypto events, like not necessarily crypto events, but like whenever I go to the events, I will see Ray. So we got to talking. I realized that he is a very knowledgeable person. So it's great to have you to offer some of your perspective to our audience. So speaking of which, my first question I'll actually want to throw to Desmond because we all know what happened yesterday, last night before we went to bed. So what are your thoughts on the current state of the crypto market? Because we have been like Bitcoin has been pretty stable, like pretty stale and boring. And all of a sudden, we have this such a bullish piece of news. So, like, what are your thoughts? Do you think the pump is real?
Actually, I think it's maybe the beginning of a new bull market, but currently I think we are still in a very early stage. Actually, I don't think the price can go like much lower because I think the bottom is uh, like when the FTX incident happened, it went to like below 20K, but now the markets have recovered a bit. And if it goes down like to 23K or even lower, I think there will be already many whales or already many institutions will start accumulating and they may be placing their buying orders there. So I don't think the market can get to a very low level. So I think now may be a very early stage of the bull market. We may get lower, but actually it's a very good point to start like accumulating some Bitcoin because like we can see from some like on-chain metrics that actually many long-term holders are starting to accumulating Bitcoin and they don't really sell it when the price go up. So I think it's a pretty good stage for like investors or an outsider joining the market. And also I think that in the future we will have a lot of great news like the halving events next year and also like the Bitcoin ETF, also the ETH ETF, Bitcoin Spot ETF. There are a lot of institutions such as the BlackRock and also the ARK. They are also applying for multiple ETF related to crypto. So I think this may be a very good catalyst for the whole market to starting to get some traction and also some new capital inflow from the market outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to ask you a little bit more about like the what we have seen the Ripple case against the SEC. Do you think the pump that we are experiencing last night will have like the same effects? Perhaps like the next week, then the news kind of die down and then we go back to 26K. Like, what is your perspective on that?
Actually, I think maybe the momentum is now still quite good, but if the market starts to cool down, it may have a small retracement. But actually now I think that um, the market is looking quite good, and we may get higher like 28K something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, and recently I got into stocks as well. I bought a little bit of MicroStrategy and Coinbase, and yesterday it pumped like 14%. So I was extremely happy. But like to keep building on this, Wilson, I want to ask you like you in the area of your expertise because you work in a family office fund, right? Like I wonder what initially sparked your interest in investing in crypto though, because crypto is like it's like a roller coaster, and family office usually is a little bit with a more traditional mind. So, like, I wonder what was your like your initial interest.
Thank you for the question. The decision to invest in cryptocurrencies within the framework of a family office fund was driven by a combination of factors. First and foremost, the ever-evolving landscape of cryptocurrencies presented a unique opportunity for diversification and potential high returns, aligning with our commitment to ensuring the long-term growth and stability of our clients' wealth. Moreover, the borderless nature of cryptocurrencies and their potential to reshape various industries resonated with the global outlook of our family office. And we saw an avenue to offer our clients exposure to innovative technologies and financial instruments that could transcend traditional market limitations. And then finally, the concept of decentralization and the empowerment that it brings to individuals aligned with our values of transparency and client centricity. Investing in cryptocurrencies allows us to tap into a new asset class where participants have a direct stake in the market's direction, just like MarginX itself. In essence, I think it was a blend of recognizing the transformative potential of cryptocurrencies, addressing the evolving needs of our clients, and embracing the principles of innovation and empowerment that led us to embark this journey within the realm of the family office fund. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would find crypto very, very innovative and then very exciting. We have like new sectors coming out every new bull market. So, well, I do want to ask a little bit more question about that. So, Ray, given your expertise in GameFi, could you share a little bit like your perspective between gaming and crypto, and like why are you so interested in investing in GameFi so specifically?
Thanks. I see gaming as a clear introduction and gateway to the Web3 space. Because I think half of the global population play games, we see basically our peers and basically the younger generation. They're all attached to the cell phone and also computers. Their social interactions are online, so everything is going online. But now it's like Web3 is the next generation of being online that we see. And the gaming ecosystem is very used to the payment and also the play. You pay and play or pay to play. Or even now, like we have the Web3 space where you can play and earn in the ecosystem as well. And I see a lot of the traditional, like basically gaming executives are starting shops or endorsing this kind of business model. So I think actually the two worlds, the Web3 world and also the real world are converging through a meeting through the Web3 games or the metaverse as we speak. So I think it's basically, generally speaking, it's a little bit that it does drive the traffic into the Web3 space. That's why I'm very excited about.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are more excited about the play to earn aspect. Because if you look at Axie Infinity, like those sort of like blockchain gaming idea was particularly popular in like other, I would say, less developed places. And well, for a month they could earn like 4,000 HK, and that is equivalent to the monthly salary. So who wouldn't find it appealing, right? Well, that would make a perfect shift to the next question I have for Desmond. And I wonder, like, what do you think would trigger the next bull run in crypto? Do you think it's GameFi, or do you think we are ready in the beginning of the bull run already?
Yeah, actually, I think it's maybe GameFi, also AI, and also the inflow of the big players' money. Because like for example, for the Bitcoin spot ETF, like BlackRock, they are already managing trillions of dollars in the traditional market, and they can bring a lot of new customers and new capitals to the crypto market if they start accepting their customers to buy the crypto related products. And also for the GameFi, we all know that's so although that's before the GameFi like Axie Infinity or StepN, they may have some problems in the tokenomics. So there may be sounds like a bit like a Ponzi model, because like for example, when the death spiral has triggered, the dual token will just keep the price go down and down and cannot attract a new player to come in. But I know that there are in like nowadays there are already a lot of gaming giants like Bandai or like a lot of others new names. They are already joining the Web3 gaming industry, so they are already developing some new and fun games. So perhaps they can make the whole experience a lot better. If the market has improved, they may have already be able to like launch this game into the market. And also, I think that's the AI may be able to change the market, because like for example, like a blockchain can actually combine with AI with some decentralized method. Like for example, there's a project called Random Error. They are using the idle GPU power to help with the 3D rendering. So that's the graphic producers. They can create some very good 3D image or 3D animation using idle GPU power, so they can have a cheaper cost and also a higher efficiency in producing this 3D image. And also, I think this can also be applied to the AI market as well, because like we all know that AI needs a lot of computing power. So maybe they can make use of some idle GPU power, and combine with this, we can have some great AI project related to blockchain or some decentralized concept as well. So I think this areas may be a great catalyst for the whole market to the new bull market to begin. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on the same page as you. Like, I believe gaming or AI or even NFT gonna have a comeback. Well, not necessarily like NFT as a JPEG, but maybe in other like tech area, perhaps like QR code or like in-game assets. We could utilize the NFT technology as well. But I do want to touch base a little bit more about the big players you mentioned, because BlackRock is interested in crypto space. They're coming in, but at the same time, there are more concerns that all these so-called centralized money is coming in. Like, are you personally concerned, or you think generally speaking, is a positive thing for the crypto space?
Yeah, actually, I still think it's a positive thing to the crypto space, because you need some outside money to have a more healthy growth for the whole market. If you're just using the money from inside the crypto market, it will just be a zero sum game. But I think that maybe when this big player has come into the market, I think it will be harder for the traders to gain some alpha, because like for example, they may have implement a lot of trading strategies to capture the alpha in the market and to profit from the market. And also I think for this volatility and the so I think the volatility may be lower because, like, for example, when the market size and the market cap of the coins getting higher and higher, it may be harder for the people to like experience the same growth comparing to the past few bull markets. So I mean that's maybe the price of Bitcoin may not be able to get that high comparing to the previous cycles. So that may be part of the concern. Yeah.
Yeah, because we are in crypto, right? Volatility is everything when it comes to making money. But it's okay. Is a positive thing if all these centralized authorities are entering. So if we wish for volatility, we could always go for smaller altcoins, right? Well, that makes a perfect segue for the next question I have for Wilson. So Wilson, I wonder, like, because you're in family fund, like what kind of measure do you guys take to see whether a crypto is worth investing, or is it like because for retail investors we'll go to Google and look at the coin, and then perhaps we'll go to YouTube and then see who are the influencers that are talking about the coin. I wonder what sort of measurement you guys take.
Evaluating the worthiness of cryptocurrency investment within a family fund actually involves a comprehensive and disciplined approach. It's kind of similar to assessing any other asset class. I can think of some key factors that we consider. First of all is the fundamental analysis. Just like traditional investments, we analyze the fundamental aspects of a cryptocurrency. And this includes understanding the technology, the use case, market demand, and the problem it aims to solve. We assess to the team's expertise, and the project's roadmap, and the overall viability of the cryptocurrency within its ecosystem. And then we also look at the market dynamics. We closely monitor the market trends, trading volumes, the liquidity of the cryptocurrency. Analyzing market sentiment and the coin's performance against competitors help us gauge its potential for growth and stability. And then lastly, it's about the partnerships and adoption. The partnerships are cryptocurrency forms, and its adoption rate within various industries can indicate its potential for real-world utility. Projects with genuine partnerships and a growing user base tend to have more sustainable value. Our approach combines traditional financial analysis with an in-depth understanding of the unique aspects of the cryptocurrency market. By adhering to the rigorous evaluation process, we aim to make informed decisions that align with the financial goals and risk profiles of our clients within the family fund.
Yes, I think that was brilliant, and I'm sure our audience can take a lot of value from what you just said. All right, so Ray, moving on to the next question. During the market downturn, because let's be honest, we're still in an ultra bear market, no matter what people have been saying. Like some investors would choose to double down on the investments, and maybe others will adopt a little bit more a cautious approach. I wonder what your firm, what strategy your firm is currently employing, or what you personally are doing in this bear market.
So I think for the past 2 years, especially I think 2020 and 2021, we have seen a drastic downturn in the broader market. It's not just Web3, but like the broader market in general, equities and other asset classes. So we have been observing for almost past 2 years of what's going on in the market. So we're pretty dominant, but observant. So we're starting to basically looking more aggressively, investing more aggressively, and also building more aggressively. So I think it's time to be contrarian right now. So after being quiet for 2 years, I think as Desmond just covered, that I think there are a couple of catalysts that we are looking forward to. For within the industry, I think we know about the halving, But I think outside we see potential ETF developments, not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum as well. The Ethereum futures ETF that we'll potentially see. And also yesterday, the big announcement of the big win, basically the law case of Grayscale. That's actually very exciting and paving way for potential, basically traditional industries to get into Web3 through Bitcoin as an entryway. At least we see people are pumping money, potentially pumping money into the ecosystem next year. So we still, and I think one thing that I think the last speaker was highlighting about, I think we're investing on the uniqueness of the business models empowered by the Web3 space, especially on the social side and application side. I think it is something that we are still very passionate about and we're actively looking at. So we are scouting for opportunities in both early investing and also cheap and distressed opportunities right now. So, yeah.
Could I ask a little bit more question? Like, what do you mean by social application side? Do you mean like social-fi? Could you explain to our audience a little bit more?
Yes. So I think social-fi, as you said, or games with a large social, potentially viral element in it. We are very bullish on the pet vertical. That's why we're building a digital pet, and we'll be investing in pet projects. And we invested in a chess game recently, and also and other opportunities as well. We're not as excited about like multi-people shooting kind of games that is already performing really well in the Web2 space. And do they need tokens around it? I'm not entirely sure. So that's our observation.
All right. Yeah, I see what you mean. And I'm also taking a slightly more aggressive approach, given that because we have been in the bear market for like 490 days, is by far in Bitcoin history is the longest bear market. And I do see a little bit of light at the tunnel, at least what I feel like with the whole all these ETF application. All right, so moving on to the next question, I have for Desmond. Well, like even though we have seen a little bit more positive things like slowly happening in crypto, I wonder what are your thoughts on like major exchanges like Binance though, because Binance is facing so much scrutiny from all around the world. It's not only from the US. Like, what's your take on this?
Actually, I think it's inevitable because, like, for when the general size of the crypto market grows larger and larger, it may just raise the regulatory body or the government's awareness, so they may become more and more eager to control, to regulate the market, to protect the investors, and also because, like, for example, like Binance is not, so it's not quite regulated by the US or any countries in the world, so maybe they can. It may be comparatively easier for them to avoid some legal responsibility or some consequences than some like traditional stocks broker or the in the traditional market. So it's quite a common sense that the government and the regulatory body want to increase the pressure on the major exchanges like Binance. But I think that the regulatory environment will just improve over time. For example, like for Hong Kong is also having the new law and regarding the virtual assets, and also the actually like Hashkey and OSL had just launched their platform. Although their liquidity and the order book still is not very good now. But I think generally maybe this kinds of regulated exchange may start to emerge and to grab some market shares. And if in the future they may be able to provide some more other products apart from spot, like just Bitcoin and ETH, if they can provide like more products like derivatives, they may be able to like getting more market shares and also have a more how to say that, how a more protected environment for them to invest in cryptocurrency. But I think some exchanges like Binance and also Bybit, they will keep staying there. But I think they may be challenged by some newcomers. Yeah.
Well, one simple question I have for you. Do you think Binance will make it? And also, like, what are you doing with your BNB holding?
Actually, my BNB holding is not that significant, so I don't think I have any problem. But I think Binance will eventually make it because like they have a lot of legal experts and also a lot of people to handle that stuff. So I don't think they will face a very big legal problem. And also I think no matter what the government or the regulatory body says, Binance still has the biggest liquidity or the how to say that, marketing power to the pricing power. So for example, many market makers will use Binance to help to improve the liquidity of other exchanges, and many big whales and the traders, some pro traders using APIs still trade in Binance. So I don't think it will be a very big problem for them, at least for now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Binance has like really been through some test of time, and like having test of time is very important in crypto because like every new market, every new bull market or bear market, we'll see like a flush of some like smaller projects, I would say, or smaller exchanges. Well, speaking of which, I do want to ask Wilson, like you have seen like for the past, I would say like even last night, there like so much is happening in crypto, whether it's like exchanges being scrutinized by all around the world or grayscale. There's like a both positive and negative things happening. So I wonder, like you as a family office, what sort of like DD, like due diligence, do you guys do, and how long is the process though?
Yes, of course. We actually take some approaches in due diligence, and then it allows us to navigate the dynamic landscape while maintaining a focus on long-term value and stability. And then talking about the duration of due diligence is quite various. Sometimes we may take like 3 months or maybe 6 months that we really need to take into or go into the community, such as we do research and analysis. We begin by conducting comprehensive research on a project. It involves that we need to study the white paper, the technical documentations, and the team behind the project. And then we need to assess the team. The expertise and the credibility of the team are paramount. And we scrutinize the team members' backgrounds, experience, and track records. And lastly, I think a strong and engaged community often reflects a project's legitimacy and potential for growth. So we analyze the project's presence on social media, forums, and its ability to attract and retain the community members. Yeah.
Got it, got it. That's a little professional terms indeed. Coming from a family office one, I need some time to digest. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. I would like to ask Ray, because you're in GameFi, but honestly speaking, from what I've seen, like all these blockchain games so far, they are extremely boring. Like even Axie Infinity, like no offense to Axie Infinity, but it's not, certainly not a very exciting game. So like sometimes when I look at some of the GameFi, I'll feel like seriously, is it a joke? Like, am I back to the 1990s or something? So I wonder what are your thoughts?
I think Web3 games are more than games. So So we look at the different generations of games that I do think it's a place that's constantly still taking shape and constantly evolving. So as I talk about, I think more social side of games or social fi that build ecosystems and retain people. It's really important. So I think let's not forget that Axie Infinity actually fed or a lot of families, right? Like they created a lot of jobs in this space. So I think it satisfied a lot of the needs. But a lot of the games we're talking about like more playing with the psychologies or the wants of things. So it's really different things that we're trying to achieve. But I think there could be a balance for play and earn. That's not play to earn. There's some fun and there's also some financial incentives or other social incentives around it. I think it is a business model or a vertical that I think the whole industry or the world is trying to explore the balance between for that. But I think it's a work in progress for sure. And we want to contribute and keep on empowering that initiative. For example, like I talk about, we invest in Spinterlands. There's more than 2 billion gameplays, and it's still the number one Web3 games. So it's basically the card games. It works on some games, but it doesn't work on some other themes or or ideas. So I think we need to be careful to pick the right business models or right gameplays to empower with the blockchain.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really looked into GameFi ever since the GameFi boom in 2021. I invested in a GameFi coin 2 years ago called Gala Game. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of that. And I made like a 5x or 6x in 2 months. I really missed those days for sure. But I do want to ask you a little bit more about like the gaming development. Like we know that so far blockchain games are not very exciting. Like so for the past ever since the GameFi boom, have you seen any games that you think, oh my god, this game is so fun, it has massive potential? Like, do you have any projects in mind? Right? I think you're muted.
Yes, you're talking about what projects we're excited about. Right? We're excited about digital art, digital collectibles. I think collectible between physical that coexists in both physical and virtual forms, or either we convert from physical to virtual or Web3. It's a very exciting space. And I keep on using one example is before we incentivize people, like Uber incentivizes people with cash, $10 to $20. They're basically burning money to make people download the apps. And now we can use tokens and NFTs to build communities and incentivize people through affiliate marketing style as well to get people into the space. I think that's a much cheaper and more powerful kind of business model, especially in emerging markets where people still value the token value quite a bit. So I think it's just, for us, we like card games, like games specifically, card games, chess games, or things that integrate into our daily lives. That's more social, pet themed, or even fortune telling, etc. That I think it's very interesting themes to build games, and especially Web3 games to bring people to the community. And virtual idols or virtual girlfriends, basically. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will need a virtual girlfriend for sure. Well, let's go back to Desmond. And speaking of exchanges, talking about Binance, how do you envision them evolving over the next 5 years? Because let's say if you go to CoinMarketCap right now and you look at the ranking list of all these exchanges, do you believe in the next 5 years Binance still going to be the biggest, or do you believe that any changes to this ranking list?
Actually, I think that the central exchanges is going to getting less market shares because for example, nowadays many different new DEX has already emerged like DYDX and GMX and also a lot of other new choices that can give users a better experience and to let them to hold the assets in the wallet. So I think that maybe in the future the decentralized exchange will getting better and better, and also I think the liquidity of them will increase over time. So maybe there will be more different new products coming into the decentralized exchange like copy trading and also for example a more advanced API to let the pro players to start trading with their wallets, and also with the implementation with the account abstraction. So the new EIP proposal on Ethereum, so it can enable people to to generate a wallet with no private key, so they can just use their service provider to help them to hold their keys, and also they can have a more similar way to log in like the Web2, like email and password kinds of way to log in their wallet, and also they can have a better experience with the gas fee because they can use like stablecoin to pay gas fee, or they can net the D app to help them to pay for the gas fee. So they don't need to pay the gas fee if the D app they are willing to cover that. So I think that generally the experience related to wallet and DEX will improve over time, and they may just reduce the central exchange market shares. Yeah.
Yeah, and I realized copy trading is also a big thing. I noticed Binance is launching the feature recently. Desmond, are you in copy trading? Could you share a little bit more?
No, actually, I don't do the copy trading, but yeah. But I will keep an eye on is there any trader is doing really good, so maybe we can see if we can use some capital to try to copy trade them. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed the biggest exchange for copy trading is BitGet or something, and a lot of influencers are doing it on all these exchanges. But I personally, I'm not in copy trading neither because I feel like the pressure is going to be on me. And then I'm not sure if you noticed Coinsider, so Kevin from Coinsider, he's in copy trade as well. And last night he kind of anticipated Grayscale would lose the case against SEC, and he actually got short squeezed. So there's a lot of pressure you have to bear, especially as an influencer. Personally speaking, I'm not ready for that. But hopefully when I get more experience, then I'll one day get into copy trade as well. So moving on to the next question, for Wilson. I wonder, how do you manage the risk associated with investing in crypto? Because crypto is so volatile. So how do you guys manage that?
Actually, we are taking a multifaceted approach to navigate the challenges presented by the volatility, while we also want to seek the capture opportunities for the growth of a controlled risk framework. And firstly, we thoroughly assess the risk profile of each cryptocurrency investment. And then based on this assessment, we allocate our capital strategically, ensuring that the higher risk investments are balanced with more stable access. And then we also have to actively monitor and adjust our portfolio given the dynamic nature of the market. And we need to monitor the market trends, the news, the developments, so that it enables us to make informed decisions quickly and adjust our portfolio. And then last, but is actually really important, is that we have to educate our clients about the risks and the rewards of cryptocurrency, and then it would help them to make informed decision making, and it can also help clients to align their expectations with the inherent volatility of the market.
Great, got it. So to keep building on that, I would like to ask Ray, like another crucial factor when it comes to investing. Like, in your view, when do you anticipate that crypto gaming might experience like a resurgence? And like, do you think like there's specific factor that would trigger it?
I think it's a very good question. That I think there's a broader market, and gaming is like a secular market that I think a lot of people try to still to focus on the building it up. So I think every year there's a few I would call it a few major opportunities. I call it 財富密碼, 財富密碼. It's like we look at the different meme coins, or I think things coming out of the base chain, or there are other different opportunities coming up every year, just NFT projects or different projects, or we are talking about friend tech. So I think the industry does evolve very fast. But I think now we are very closely looking at first community driven, second social driven, third is education themed, fourth is IP driven in this gaming market. And I think it's pretty much anti-gravity relatively, with a lot of applications, with real world integration that we can see. But we are basically positioning for a much more optimistic market next year. But I think now is the time to really do a lot more research, in-depth research, and talking to a lot of different founders, going to different conferences. So we are going. I think crypto is very social. So we are going to Korea. We have been to US already, and Europe, Germany, Spain. So we're going to Korea, Japan, and Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore, and Turkey this year. So for the remaining few months, we're going to a lot of countries still. So to learn more, to talk to more founders, and also communities. So.
Well, that sounds very exciting. That's all the crypto space is about, right? And I wonder, like, other than gaming, what are you most excited about, especially in the next year or two? Do you think gaming is ultimately still going to be the biggest trend, or do you think it's going to be something we cannot foresee right now, like a complete brand new trend? Because if you look back into 2020, I'm sure no one would have seen like DeFi would absolutely go to the moon, right? Like the same thing applied to 2021. I'm sure no one anticipated selling for a JPEG for $1 million, right? Do you think it's going to be a new trend, or still going to be gaming?
I think gaming is relatively with real world integration. So we want to be more positioned in that, for basically whether it's a bull market or flat market that we see. So I think a lot of the broader market, I think the consensus is talking a lot about infrastructure, because to be honest, the blockchain needs to grow faster and safer. So there's new technologies coming up that investors are willing to pay high valuation and premium on. That I may or may not agree on. And there's wallets on ramp, off ramp to get traditional capital. I think that's still very important. I think no matter it's Web2 fintech VCs or TMT VCs or Web3 VCs are all eyes on kind of this space. But for us, we're still pretty much into the social. We talk about the pet and idol and kind of a more real life integration kind of projects that we look at. A new themes would be, I'm currently advising one RWA real world asset tokenization project. It is a private credit tokenization project that is called Zoth, founded by a Fortune 500, basically MD, with very experience on getting on basically private credits from emerging markets. So I think getting traditional asset class on chain is a very heavy theme in the upcoming year as well. That will absorb a lot of capital. Also, lastly, I think sorry, I think none of I haven't talked about it so far, but AI, I think AI integration or AI empowerment is definitely something that gets investors excited. And I think every project, I think a lot of the things we have done actually has AI elements in it. So we need to look at how the large language model can further empower us on the Web3 space to have another leg up. So AI for sure. So AI for the win. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Well, especially with the RWA sector. Personally, I'm more bullish on that sector compared to AI, if I'm being honest. Well, because my reasoning behind is that even BlackRock itself, Larry Fink, he was at some conference and then saying that tokenization of real world asset is like the next biggest trend, right? So I wonder, like, are there any specific projects in the RWA sector that you're more bullish on, or you just kind of like sitting on the fence? Ray, I think you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Can you repeat the last part?
I wonder, like, if there's any specific RWA projects in the market, like currently right now, that you are looking into.
Yes. So the one I'm advising is called Zoth, and they tokenize private credits. So the first project they do is on receivable financing, giving 12% yield, largely underwritten by traditional A-graded insurance companies like AIG. So it's a very solid credit facility that they tokenize on. That I think the yield is much higher than we see in even DeFi or even like treasuries that we look at. So I personally park some capital there as well to support the project because I'm an advisor. But I think in addition to private credit, some particular real estate, bonds, and also green projects or private shares are so basically bonds, private shares, and funds are the key areas people looking into tokenizing. No particular names, but I think some projects tokenizing treasury is gaining traction, U.S. treasuries.
Yeah, I'm completely with you because especially like if you think about it, trading a tokenized version of bonds on like Imagine platform like Arfe, that would be pretty cool, right? Well, so unfortunately, that's all the time we've got for. I've certainly learned so much from all of our speakers today. I hope our listeners did learn something too. Make sure to follow all of our speakers on Twitter and also make sure to follow MarginX. We'll be hosting here regularly, so stay tuned to know when our next Twitter space will be. I hope to speak to you guys again, and thank you so much, everyone, for attending this discussion. And we'll talk soon next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.